lot of times when you do a bid for all the steps, okay, and they got to be polished, you're not going to come up to a good substrate. A lot of times they're going to be full of bug holes like this. There could be spalls, soft spots, all different kinds of problems. The first thing you want to do is prep it, removing any soft material, get through the latent so you can see some sands, and use a 30 grit on the small grinder, which fits. The second thing you want to do after you clean it and vac it is use a mixture of 50% water and 50% polymer, latex polymer, as a primer for the Match Patch Pro Part C. Make sure you work it into all the bug holes. Make sure it's wetted very well. Next, you're going to use concrete sands because you're trying to produce a salt and pepper finish. The concrete sands also have larger particles up to an 1/8 inch. You get this at your local producer, hopefully the one where the concrete came from, because that's what you're trying to match. The 1/8 inch is also going to gauge you for your thickness with the trowel. You're going to mix for a vertical application. You're going to mix it, the sand 1:1 with the Part C cements, with your colorant already added into the Part C cements, whatever you came up with to match the color. You're going to start put in some of the polymer, water mixture, Part C cements, and colorant, and mix that up. I make pretty good pancakes, so I can usually hit the consistency just by eyeballing it. But if you got a whole bunch of stairs to do, work up exactly how much water and polymer you're going to need to get it to the right consistency. It's a little bit soupy with that. Add your sands. Mix them up. I like to let it sit just for a minute. Let it dwell for a minute. You've got about 10 minutes to get it all out and get it troweled out. You can take a putty knife, plan on spending a lot of time on stairs. Nothing fast about them. They're very tedious, and you can't bid them by the square foot. Now, it's been about 30 minutes. It's stiffened up, okay? You still want it to be damp because we're going to run a grout coat over the top, and it's just the Part C cements, your colorant, and the 1:1 polymer and water. I want this to be pretty pasty. So you can see it peaks really well. Now we're going to let this set up for 3 hours to 4 hours, however long it takes. You need to wait that long before you can grind it, and then we'll probably do one more grout coat to fill in any other imperfections and get it polished perfect. Well, I got called out of town for 2 days. I got back to this morning, went to Hunterd, grouted it again, and you can see it's a really super even salt and pepper finish. You're going to use the concrete sands that the concrete came from, if that makes sense. And Part C cements does not shrink, it polishes, it takes dye, it takes densifier, and it doesn't debond or shrink.